Hello, I'm Byron Giles, founder of CertificationPoint. Welcome to 5 Minutes with the Founder, which is which documents my journey for CertificationPoint.org. So, at this with my last session, I talked about my time at the Weather Squadron and the good people that I met and influential people that I met, not only Clarissa Emmerich, but James Kidd, very knowledgeable, very sharp individual. Mr. Barron, Richard Barron, call him my mentor. We had a lot in common. Especially when one thing I forgot to mention during that time frame is I left for about 6 weeks and went to officer training school. My commander at the time on the reserve side, Major Eldon Buster Hendrickson, paved that way for me. He had a lot of faith in me, and it helped me gain a lot of confidence in myself. Although I may have exuded a lot, having someone believe that you're officer material, it really meant a lot, because a lot of people don't get the opportunity, especially coming from enlisted to officer. The path is easier if you're starting off as an officer. So I began working at the Air Force Network Operations Center, which is the top level on the Air Force side. And during that time frame, I was also crew commander on the military side of the Air Force Network Operations Center, because our reserve unit we changed our mission from supporting the wing to supporting the Air Force Network Operations Center. So we would report there when the AFNOC and AFNet ops were in its infancy, before they knew what they were going to become, and how they would, and eventually they gravitated into the cyberspace command and so forth and so on. So during this time with AFNet ops, I'm no longer working with cold fusion programming. I'm actually working with active server pages. So a lot of when I left the military, it was active server pages, cold fusion, HTML, but I started to notice that PHP provided a lot more avenues for me to express my creativity. So I delved in those languages quite a bit, as well as C and C++ from college and whatnot, and Perl. So my time at the Air Force Network Operations Center was some of the best. Worked with some great people, but it was one of the tough points as well. I was actually working on my master's during this time frame, and actually completed my master's during this time frame. And one of the most tumultuous moments in my life occurred at that moment. I'd been through. You always think that this moment is tough until you meet that next tough moment, and then that next tough moment. And I believe the moment when I lost a child during this time frame, it's like everything was kind of falling into place, and that was that moment that really made me question my ability, my capability. It's one of those things that will shake you to your core, and it was just a very, very tough experience. I lost a couple of good friends during that time frame as well. The first was Kenya Jones, a high school friend, and the second was Quentin Evans.